Yo, what's good? It's your boy, Coach Joey, Coach's Corner. You already know, out here at El Rancho Boxing in Kissimmee, Florida. You looking for that head coach of pro boxing, amateur boxing, boxing fitness? We over here, man. Hit us up. Listen, let's lock in. Let's fight recap. What is going with this last weekend's fight? Man, I told y'all it was going to be what it was going to be. Everybody kept telling me I was crazy. Oh, it ain't going to be like that. Oh, T.O. going to knock him out. Oh, blah, 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 blah. Listen, I went back and watched my film on a couple fights with T.O., a couple fights with Shakur, and you have to pick what's good, what's bad, what they're getting away with other people, and what they're not going to get away with this type of guy, right? I've always said that Shakur was a master of his distance. He understood the position and place, right? T.O.'s got explosive feet, but Shakur got feet himself. He got feet that put him in position to get in, get out, and also make you pay being in position. A lot of people don't understand that. It ain't just, oh, T.O. only had feet. No, Shakur got feet too, because his feet allowed him to get in, get out, create distance, and be able to make him pay when he came in, right? Exactly the things that I said both fighters could and cannot do is exactly what happened, right? With T.O., I said T.O.'s demise was going to be his explosion, his power. If they thought he was going to be able to get in and do that thing, then that was the game plan, right? I'm assuming that's what the game plan was, because you heard his dad yell, "Where's your power?" right? But here's the thing. Shakur's distance and Shakur's discipline with the jab is what was the factor of the fight. If you watch the breakdown, and I did that same day, I said the jab is the key for Shakur, because why? T.O. leaves that lead hand down. He can get away with it with other people. And if you don't watch it and you don't fix it, when you get in the ring with somebody like this, they can make you pay, right? That's the whole point when you get in there with better fighters. The same things you got away with then don't happen now. That's why I always say, like, even with pros can't be sparring amateurs a lot. Why? Because you get away with the bad habits with the amateurs, and then when you get in there with the pro, he's going to make you pay for the shit that they're not making you pay for, right? So that's why there's going to be a balance of putting a pro with an amateur sometimes, right? You got to be careful when you do that, because shit like that happens, right? It's no different in the pro game. It's no different when you get in there with a guy that's great at everything and guys that are only good at one or two things, and then you get away with things and you get in the ring like that and they make you pay. Shakur's distance, Shakur's control, his discipline, his IQ. You know, people got to understand, yes, it was basic. The basic tools were used to beat him. However, it takes an IQ and discipline to keep doing what they're giving you, right? A lot of times I always direct my fighters, listen, take what they give you. There's nothing wrong with that. If they want to keep high guarding, keep touching that stomach. If they don't want to put that lead hand up to stop the jab, keep shooting that fucking jab. Once they make adjustment a little bit, now start shooting to somewhere else. If you watch the fight, Shakur was hitting him with the jab forward, and then when he came, he's hitting him with the jab back. Then all of a sudden, he started switching the jab up from the uppercut. He jumped in, boom, threw the uppercut to the stomach. Then after he was throwing that, then he threw the check hook. There was numerous of ways he was going in and out, right? Another thing that I pointed out was, don't be surprised if Shakur walks in forward. Once Shakur started going forward, T.O. already knew he was too sharp, he was too fast, and you could say he ain't got power, but he had enough power because T.O. didn't go forward. You didn't see T.O. make adjustment and say, oh, fuck it, let me high guard, let me go take a chance. A lot of you young fighters need to understand this. There's a difference between surviving and actually trying to win the fight. T.O. wasn't trying to win the fight. T.O. was trying to survive, and that's why he tried to stay distance. When Shakur stepped to him, he didn't engage and be like, oh shit, he coming to me, let me go at him. He didn't do none of that. He kept stepping back, trying to box it from the outside, and it just wasn't working. But there's a point in time where he should have threw everything out to the wind and said, fuck it. We high guarding. I'm going to get him to the rope. When I got close, That round Shakur took off, he got in and touched the body very well. That's where you got to keep staying off. Sometimes a fight ain't going to go the way you fucking plan, but you got to be able to say, fuck it. He's got to kill me to get my belt. I'm going to war. I'm going to make it ugly, and it's going to happen. It didn't happen. I think mentally he was beat from round 1 to round 3 were the most important rounds, because that's when you saw the speed. That's when you saw the distance, and Shakur just took him out of that mental space really fast. Made him start doubting everything in training. Made him start saying, damn, he's sharp. Made him start saying, man, I'm used to touching guys with my double jab. I'm used to touching guys with the jab to the stomach quick. I can't even get there, right? So I think it was all a lot of mental, but hey, it is what it is. He took care of business. I think Shakur is the man in this weight division. I think he can clean up 135 and 140. Possibly 147 down the road. But I will say it again. Somebody that has all those tools and it has that IQ to go with those tools is going to be a hard person to beat. And it's going to take somebody that don't give a fuck. They got to make it gritty, ugly, and put it all together and go get it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, anybody that tries to box and sit on the outside and box with this young man, it ain't going to happen. He is the closest thing that's similar to a Floyd style when it comes to IQ, distance, and positioning and knowing where to be to make somebody pay. Plain and simple. Let's hop on to that, man. The co-main, which was Keyshawn and Ortiz. I said what it was going to be. I said Ortiz was going to have to be ready to fight. I said there was times where Keyshawn was going to push the envelope, push him back. I thought Keyshawn did a hell of a job going in and out, trying to dictate the rhythm and the pace. I think Ortiz knew once he realized he couldn't get to him as fast, he knew the same thing. Oh, shit, he a little faster. Oh, he a little smarter. He a little smarter than I thought. You start thinking those things when you're in there because you're not getting away with the things you used to do, right? I think when he realized Keyshawn was cutting that ring off well and getting to him well, it made him have to fight more than he wanted to, fight. Ortiz had some moments in the fight where he touched and landed, but I think Keyshawn did a good job adjusting as well. I think, he did a good job going in and out. Then I saw him get to that mid where he made an adjustment and said, okay, let me get a little closer, start touching that body a little bit. Let me start touching him with some more shots. And then all of a sudden, boom, he hit that body a couple times and caught him with a beautiful body shot. But here's the homework. What did he do? Once he hurt him to the body, where did he go back? Went right back to the body. He kept poking at it. He's putting them dividends in to receive that cash out later at the end of the fight. And look what happened, man. He stopped somebody that hasn't been stopped. And people could say, oh, that ain't shit. Listen, for a guy that hasn't been stopped and you come in and stop him, that's a problem, right? He did his job. He went in there, took care of business, showed he was the better man that night. He looked good. He looked strong at that weight. He's a problem. Let's go on to Shakur Carrington. Listen, boy, hell of a fight. Entertaining. It's good to see a young pup get in there and get touched with a good guy, go through a little adversity. He went through some adversity in round, I think it was 4 or 5. He got caught with a shot, got hurt a little bit. You seen him play defense, wrap up, hold. You know what I'm saying? He did the necessary things, but it was very good to see him in that fight like that, because that's what happens. It's boxing. How do you respond when you get hit? What do you do when you get hit? How do you make the adjustments? That's the whole point of training, right? You train for these type of moments. You train to say, okay, I got hurt. Cool. Let me wrap up. Let me hold, right? I think he did a beautiful job doing that. I think he did a beautiful job adjusting and making good adjustments in the fight. And, man, the stoppage was beautiful. Hit him with a nice body shot. Came back with 3-4 more shots on top. Pop, 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 pop. Bing. Then he hurt him. Got his ass up out of there. Amazing. I think he did a hell of a job. I think there's some big fights for him at 126. Then, you know what I'm saying? So, hell of a job. Looked good doing it. Man, next fight. Xander and Woodard. Listen, I had to run it back. I heard the split decisions. I was like, all right, let me... we couldn't watch it because, had dad. I couldn't watch it at the same time. So, I'm like, all right, let me go see, what the fight was, because Abus was, a good pressure fighter, which, can Xander keep him off, or can Xander box in the back leg all night? We don't know. And let me tell you something, man. I went to go watch that shit, and Xander did a hell of a job boxing on his back leg, spinning backing up, re-stepping way, returning the other way, stepping back around, picking and choosing when to step in, throw some power shots, step back off. He did a beautiful job implementing all those things. I think as a fighter, you got to know how to have that tool in your box, which is going backwards. That's a hard thing to do, and I think he did a very, very great job about it. I think Rubas is under... a lot of people don't know about him, but that don't mean, he's a dog. You know what I mean? He's a grit. And that wasn't easy keeping somebody like that off. I don't know what that judge saw split. You out your fucking mind. The most you could have gave Abbas was 2 to 3 rounds. Let alone the fucking fight. Either way, he got him up out of there. He took his, he showed a hell of a discipline in boxing, a hell of a motor. I believe that was the most he thrown in a fight. So, people got to understand, man, that's different. That's not an easy. He's young. He's big. He's solid. He's still learning. He's only going to get better. Hell of a fight. I loved it. Thought he did great. Listen, fight recap of the week, baby. We out.